Hey guys, it's Kayla Rissman from Miss Hornick's first period class, speaking to you about the effects beauty has on judgment. We all want to be seen as beautiful by the public, but what kind of vibes are we giving off? We've all heard the cliche, don't judge a book by its cover, but this cliche is truly easier said than done. From the moment two people make eye contact, prejudiced thoughts have already flooded their minds. Whether its judgments are positive or negative, there's something about the human attractiveness that affects our judgment. Beauty has an effect in swaying one's judgment when convicting a person. While beauty may be fleeting, attractiveness can lead to a psychological opinion that pushes people into believing someone is trustworthy. For that reason, beauty plays a role in swaying judgment and conviction. Within seconds of meeting someone, the brain has already made a conjecture if a person is credible or not. This causes misconception when a person is testifying in court. Although the appeal of beauty may be used against people, like in Ted Bundy's case, which I will get to later, but people have a harder time convicting someone with an attractive appearance. This is because we want to believe that they are truthful, but evidence may say otherwise. But why, as humans, do we judge one another? Well, it all starts in the amygdala. According to time, the brain will make an automatic judgment due to a part of the brain labeled as the amygdala. The amygdala is responsible for judging a person's emotions, fears, pleasures, and also decides trustworthiness or non-trustworthiness. Researchers at Dartmouth College and New York University reveal photos of real people and computer-generated faces to a group of participants. The images were shown for about 30 milliseconds while they were under a brain scanner. The participants were not able to fully process the face they had saw, however, their brains did. The researchers found that an active part in the brain, the amygdala, was responding. The test concluded that the brain makes prejudgments before a face can even fully be processed. This is built into our brains, and we have been wired like this as an effect of our society's obsession over appearance. Why does appearance matter so much when it comes to credibility? Chapel Lawrence writes an article through Cambridge University and MIT. This is volume 6, issue 4, so many of his factual articles have been written surrounding this topic. This article addresses how someone's looks may appeal to the public when it comes to gaining power. The people want a leader, someone who looks like a leader, someone who holds himself up with class, education, and power. If a person looks respectable and honorable, they will receive their respect and honor because that's how they hold themselves. For example, if a person who is running for power is even slightly more attractive than his or her peers, he or she will gain power through the appeal of the public's sense of entitlement of the power through beauty. These findings, throughout much research, consist of a psychological result showing that people consistently judge unfamiliar individuals based on appearance. It must be addressed that physical attraction misleads and interferes with a person, how they are seen by the public. It bends how society views their personality, intelligence, trustworthiness, honesty, and ethics. Eyes are drawn to the person who looks the part, so people see a person's mentality through the way they look. Then, take this into a court, for example. When someone is looking to please a judge or someone of power, to get the appeal of the judge, a person needs to look innocent, incapable of committing the crime. They need to look attractive, and so the attractive attributes within the person will be what is implied, not necessarily what is seen. According to ThoughtCo, Ted Bundy was an example where his attractiveness was used to convict him rather than help his case. Bundy was a cold-blooded killer who slaughtered 30 women. The 30 deaths were one that he actually admitted to, but it is believed that it was close to 100 murders. He was very physically attractive and used that to lure his victims into his trap. He confessed to kidnapping and raping and then murdering, and then he was sentenced to death in an electrical chair for his gruesome actions. The jury knew that he had committed these murders, though at first he denied them. So this specific case, Bundy knew that he could charm the judges, but the judges had to resist this temptation because they knew that Bundy had to stop or the killings would continue. Though in his trial, Bundy's appearance was used against him, this still supports the fact that he was able to lure his victims into his clutch by his looks and hubris beauty. The victims still recognized him at first as trustworthy and a genuine man, which was not the case. The source provided by HHS Public Access has a written article by Leslie A. Zebrowitz, who has written over 40 articles revolving this idea of beauty. She also has a degree in psychology from Yale University. Zebrowitz also addresses this biased view people can have on other people based on appearance. She writes about how the way a face looks makes the people seem that way. For example, she writes, and I quote, "Baby-facedness, like attractiveness, creates an impression of people's traits. Adults with baby faces are perceived to have childlike traits, to be naive, submissive, weak, warm, and honest. Moreover, baby-faced people of all ages and both sexes experience social outcomes that are constant and with their perceived traits. For example, they are passed over in mentally challenging tasks and leadership positions, but favor for jobs that require congeniality. They are also more than matured face peers to be exonerated, likely to be found at fault when charged with negligence." End quote. In her Knowledge of the Mind, she lectures about how people associating the facial structure with personality. In court, the question becomes less of did they do it and more of are they capable of the crime. This causes problems because someone might be fully capable of acting in criminal ways, but they get overlooked because the person is beautiful and innocent and they seem incapable of being such a The trustworthiness of a person should not come from their looks. Their credibility should not be based on their appearance. In the world today, it is highly based on appearance, and that needs to change. People, especially judges, need to be able to look beyond a person's physicality for the person's real credibility. This change in mindset will help better the judicial system. People need to change their way of thinking by thinking deeper than the surface, seeing people for who they truly are. This will break the unhealthy habit of prejudiceness based on a person's beauty.